In today's brief lesson, we're going to talk about how to calm a newborn, which is a really useful thing to be able to tell parents in the emergency department if they're coming in for nonstop crying, especially new parents. And so we will go over the classic definition of colic. We will talk about the 5 S's, which is just a series of steps you can teach parents. It was proposed by this guy, Dr. Harvey Karp, who wrote this pediatric classic book called The Happiest Baby on the Block. And finally, I just want to talk about the usefulness of glucose water when you're doing procedures on newborns. So this is our standard disclaimer. And I just want to talk about the classic definition of colic. And now colic is changing. They have a new mnemonic, purple, which is coming out. But just briefly, the classic rule of 3 is for colic. So it goes from 3 weeks to 3 months. And the max amount of crying is really around 6 to 8 weeks. So you can tell new parents that there is light at the end of the tunnel, but they can expect crying to go on for 3 weeks to 3 months. And classically, it's 3 hours or more per day, and it's at least 3 days a week. And so you can tell parents that the crying often is worse at night. A lot of times I'll say that the baby is overstimulated or just trying to process all the stimuli they've gone through the day. They don't have a way to decompress, they just cry. So oftentimes you'll see the crying max out at nighttime. This is, of course, if you've ruled out all other signs of irritability like meningitis or hair tourniquet or corneal abrasion or things like that. But that's a classic teaching for colic. Now, what to do with the crying infant? So Harvey Karp wrote this book called The Happiest Baby on the Block, and he talks about the 5 S's, which essentially is swaddle the baby. You can try side lying, and I'll show you a picture. You can do swinging, which is sort of the rockabye baby, of course not too forcefully. You can do shushing, which is making the shh sound. People think that it might replicate the heartbeat when the baby is in utero. Some people advocate using a white noise machine. And finally, you have sucking, like on a pacifier. So you can tell the parents, you can swaddle the child, you can do some side lying, you can do some gentle swinging, shushing, and sucking. And oftentimes the baby is crying, and if you do these things in the emergency department, the baby stops crying, the parent is impressed. So here's a picture of a swaddled baby with in a side lying position. Again, you can rock them in the swinging motion, you can shush them, shh, 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 or you can give them a pacifier, which looks like that, and oftentimes they'll suck on it. Briefly about the usefulness of glucose water. This particular brand is called Sweeties. I do not advocate it more than the other, but I just wanted to point this one out because it is 24% glucose. So it's quite high in glucose, but it's been shown pretty well that if you're doing a lumbar puncture or circumcision or things like that, that glucose water actually can help relieve pain in infants, and we definitely want to advocate for that. So don't forget when you're doing a procedure to go ahead and give this glucose. A lot of times we give it just in dropper form, or let them put some on a binky and let them suck on it. You don't have to have them guzzle it down, but it will calm them down as well. So that's the end of the lesson for how to calm a newborn.